Welcome to my latest Lake Macquarie Matters, and in this video I'd like to discuss changes to bus timetables and routes that came into effect on the 14th of January across the Newcastle Transport network. These changes have had a devastating effect on many people who had relied on the existing bus availability for years. I asked on my Facebook page, Greg Piper MP, to hear from regular bus users about how things were going and if people had been disadvantaged by these changes or if they were generally happy with the changes. The response was immediate, with dozens of comments made by both my constituents and people who live outside of the Lake Macquarie electorate. And the overwhelming majority of them were negative, with many relating to the apparent withdrawal of services between the Cardiff area and Glendale. The government continues to say that these timetables and route changes have had a positive impact overall and have resulted in more people using our public transport system. Clearly, people who may have driven to work or shops or to medical appointments, etc., because they previously didn't have access to convenient buses, now had a new option. There's no argument from me that more and new people using our buses and public transport is a good thing. And I agree that changes and improvements to the system needed to be made. However, when we have people, and some of these are my constituents, who have made life decisions and investments based on having easy access to public transport, who now have lost a bus stop or a bus route, the negative impact on their lives is much greater than the positive impact these changes have resulted in for new users. It's wonderful that we can have improved public transport, but the question needs to be asked, is this really improved public transport when some people are now having to seriously look at options of selling their house that they had to hope to stay in for many years, or of having to buy a car? People are very distressed about these changes, and it isn't something that they are making up or exaggerating. Memes have been created, rallies have been held, and new protests are being organised. T-shirts have been created and distributed, and a Facebook group called Fix Newcastle Buses has emerged. This isn't just a public transport problem per se, it's a social justice issue, and I'd really like to be able to work with the government and Keolis down on this to see what we can do to address those problems. So I really hope that the government is listening to these people and to the local members, including the members for Swansea, Charlestown, Wallsend and myself, to see what we can do to improve those shortfalls. I have and will continue to raise the issue with Transport Minister Andrew Constance. Just a few days ago, I held a meeting with affected local residents, Transport New South Wales and representatives from Keolis Downer to stress the reality of these problems and to try and find a solution. No doubt there will be much more to be heard of on this issue for a while to come. As with all of my Lake Macquarie Matters, I like to finish up by sharing a photo taken by one of my constituents. So please check out this colourful day of racing off Carey Bay by Pamela Frith. The lake is iconic, but there's lots of beautiful locations throughout the electorate. So if you've got a photo you'd like to share, please send it in. I'm Greg Piper and Lake Macquarie Matters.